You're listening to Forward Faster, bite-sized insights for entrepreneurs.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kate Leonard, Digital Marketing Manager here at NextCorps. I'm here today with Ben Zombek, founder and principal of BZDesign, which is an industrial design firm that helps companies with everything design. So from their very rough concepts all the way through manufacturing the prototypes. Ben has 20 years of experience in executing award-winning design solutions and a track record of over 75 successful medical, consumer, and commercial product launches. Ben, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it so much.
Great. So we're going to get started. Can you give us 3 words that you would use to describe industrial design?
Sure. So I would use form follows function as our 3 words to describe industrial design. And the reason that we pick those words is because it's a principle of design that we really try to follow here at BZDesign. So the idea of form follows function came from Louis Sullivan around the late 1800s. And in that, he was an architect and a designer, and he was looking at how can we not be a copycat designer as we design new buildings, as we design new products? How can we really come up with an innovative solution and think about the user, think about the end user throughout the process? So form follows function means, from industrial design perspective, that we think about the end customer first, and we try to take a technology and create a user experience that's really powerful for our end customers.
Nice. So end customers. So how about people who are just starting out? Right. So you've got a fabrication lab here at NextCorps. Can you tell me about the importance of having access to those kind of labs for new companies?
Sure. So as a startup, you need a lot of advice and help and consulting. And one of the things with the Fabrication Lab here at NextCorps is that my team helps maintain it and manage it and help some of the customers here. So as a startup, you need to think about what is your product offering, what is your solution, and how good or how great is it for the product or the end customers that you're trying to reach out to. So we typically help startups come up with their very first prototype, and that allows them to now have a tangible device that now they can take out to customers, they can take it out to investors, they can explain their technology, they can talk about the story of why they're doing what they're doing, and they can learn from it. A lot of the prototypes that we build here in the prototyping lab are failures, but that's a good thing because you're going to find out at a very early stage that you might not have the right fit, and you'll go through several prototypes to really perfect that and make the right product.
Right. Great. We're happy to have you here at NextCorps because I know the companies are making use of it and very happy to have that benefit right here in the building. So let's talk about some of those projects that you see come through the Fab Lab. Maybe you can explain just a few that you've seen recently.
Sure. So there's quite a few Luminate projects, right? New companies that are creating optics devices coming through, which is fantastic. We love optics. And I would say another big trend is kind of healthcare and wellness products. So there seems to be a big push for those. And we absolutely love at BZDesign working on those projects because we feel like as designers, we're giving back to the community. We're giving back to humanity. We're coming up with some really good solutions that are powerful. So those would be kind of the 2 trends coming through the lab right now.
So how about maybe you can think about the coolest project you've seen recently?
Sure.
No pressure.
Yeah. So we have, there's a company called Turnabout, so turnabout.co, and it's a enabling device for elderly or anybody that may be a stroke patient or somebody that's sick that can't get in and out of an automobile very easily. So it's a pretty simple device that allows the user to turn and lift up out of a car. And we just built the latest prototype. We're working with RIT's Livability Lab, the end customer, and we used the Fabrication Lab here to create some of those prototypes. So we had several prototypes. We had some that looked like the final product, and then we had some that worked like the final product, and a few in between. So it's an iterative process, and that was a great project to have in there. We used it on real customers, and we're trying to get more and more feedback. So it's a good project.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll touch many lives too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for people who don't know, right, what's missing, maybe they're new to fabrication, what's the value that you can bring to them? Like I said, that they're not sure that they're missing it all.
Yeah, so I would say the Rockstar team that we have in the lab, right? So
Nice.
Adam Baker, Zach Berkeley, Laura Whippy, myself, like we are product designers. We do this for a living. We know how to talk to the end customer and put the right prototype in front of that customer to make the key decisions that's going to help drive your growth of your company. So for any startup, whether it's just branding and just starting a company, they can talk to our branding team. If they're coming up with their first prototype, they can talk to our industrial design team about that. Even if it's a digital product, right? So an app or some sort of an app that they're developing, they can come to our team and talk to Laura Whitby about what is the best user experience. What are some things I should think about today that are going to impact us from 6 months from now as we start to really develop some sort of digital product, tangible product, or just launching your brand.
Perfect. So you're the team, whatever they need. Yeah. All right. So who inspired you in your work?
So I'm inspired by Dieter Rams. So Dieter Rams is a German industrial designer who he created many products for Braun, and he has 10 principles of industrial design. And you can see through those principles that design needs to be pure, clean, and functional. And so basically back to that forms, files, function. That's something that I always get inspired by, and I always like to look at his work and think about how clean can the product be? What is the pure essence of what we're trying to solve? And how can we provide a positive user experience for our customers? How can we have something that we deliver at the end of the day that people are really excited about and happy to use? So think about like Apple products, IKEA products. Those same designers, Johnny Ives, was inspired by Dieter Rams as well. So
Great. So I'm not sure that there's a book in there, but my next question is if you had a book that you could offer someone who wanted to learn more about ID or fabrication, what would that be?
So there's a book called The Change Maker's Playbook by Amy Radin. And I'm actually, we're part of that book. We were interviewed and became part of the prototyping process. She wanted to know more about how, as an industrial design firm, we use the prototyping throughout that process. So that's a fantastic book to read. It kind of walks through, like, what does it take to be an innovator? How do you take your raw technology? How do you add to it? And how do you create something that's really powerful for users? So it's a great book.
Perfect. So to wrap up, and this is also going to be a question we close out our podcast with, fast forward 10 years, because we're always thinking to the future. What do you think will be possible in the realm of prototyping and fabrication 10 years from now?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that healthcare is a big drive with prototyping. So you think about 3D printers today, and they're already exploring, can we 3D print organs? So 10 years from today, I'm hoping that they're 3D printing hearts and doing some amazing things that are spot on for what customers need. They're totally custom fit. They're totally custom developed solutions for those customers. And we're going to be helping people that really need it the most, right? So people that are really vulnerable, that are sick. And I think that's where 3D printing is going to go. So that's what we're really excited about here at BZ.
Exciting. So thanks, Ben. Thank you so much for coming. If you want to learn more about BZDesign, you can check out some of their work at bzdesign.com. Until next time, thank you guys for tuning in.
Thanks, guys.